Our organizations work with students, their families, and teachers to integrate writing and art. We use creativity to figure things out, to connect with each other, to learn about ourselves, and to use our power to build a better world.
Hello writers, and welcome back to an 826 Michigan field trip. We're so excited to write with you today. To get started, you're going to need a pencil or a pen. I really like writing with a pen because
yes, I was just out for a socially distanced stroll and walked by the University of Michigan Museum of Art.
Hello, Dr. Bloch. I hadn't heard from you in a while, but I'm kind of in the middle of a virtual field trip right now. I know how excited you get when you see something new and exciting. Is that what's happening right now?
You know that there's a huge white head outside the building? What in the world? Did it just drop out of the sky? I need information. I need the details.
Whoa. That sounds like an interesting development. So, Dr. Bloch, I think I know someone at the art museum who might be able to help us out. Let me see what I can do for you, okay? What do you say? Should we investigate? Hi, Grace. Thanks for taking the time to shed some light on this mystery. You know how Dr. Bloch can be when they need information. Apparently, there's a big white head outside the Museum of Art. Our task is to find out some background. So first, what really is it?
Hello, Megan. It is Grace, reporting live from the University of Michigan Museum of Art. I am standing in front of the sculpture. It is monumental. It is a head with hands covering its eyes. If I walk around the back, it looks like the hair is braided.
Oh, okay. I guess it's real then. Do you know when it arrived?
There were some signs that a change was about to take place. In late October, a large metal swing sculpture was removed. Then we noticed a construction fence, and workers started to build a base. In early November, a large crane was on site, and the head started to appear.
Got it. So we know where it is, what it looks like, and when it arrived, but why? Why is there a big head outside the museum?
Sometimes a monument can be placed in a location to remind visitors or community members about what happened in that specific spot. For example, a treaty could have been signed, or a big football game could have been won, or a monument can symbolize an idea.
Could you give me an example of a monument that is also a symbol?
Sure. In downtown Detroit, a fist hangs inside of a pyramid. It's a monument to Joe Louis, a boxer who used his hands. But a fist also symbolizes strength and protest. It means more than the object itself. For example, a dove is a type of bird, but it also implies peace, or a storm might mean that a problem is brewing.
That makes sense. So do you think the head is symbolizing something? What could it mean?
Megan, that is the real question. The artist, Jaume Plensa, calls this behind the walls. And he says it's a teenage girl shielding her eyes with her hands. It reminds me of playing peekaboo with my little niece, or watching a scary part in a movie and not wanting to see it, hiding or shielding. But I wonder if she could also be thinking deeply and not want to be disturbed. These are the real questions.
This has been helpful, thank you, Grace, but I'm not entirely sure that this mystery has been solved. What could this monument symbolize? What do you think?
What's the word of the day?
Monument.
What is a monument?
Is a statue or something to honor someone who has done something, a great thing.
What kinds of things would you make a monument for?
My mom.
Keep listening for the word monument.
Monument, 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 monument.
Well, hello. Hello, Dr. Olson. Thanks for meeting with me today to tell the story of the behind the scenes about the monumental head that's outside of the museum.
Absolutely. It's quite a story.
Yeah. For those of you at home, Dr. Tina Olson is the director of the University of Michigan Museum of Art. She makes decisions about what kind of art to buy, where to put it, but she doesn't make those decisions by herself. She has to convince other people to consider her ideas. And I understand that you had to persuade others to get this on the museum grounds. So who did you have to convince that the art museum was the best place for it?
That is a really good question. And it's true that my job involves a lot of persuasion. So in this case, first I had to persuade the donors who were alumni, people who had gone to the university years before, that they should give it to us and that they should give it to the museum and not say to a different part of the campus. And then I had to persuade the president of the university that this would be a great thing for the university and that this was the place that it belonged on the campus. And then I had to persuade the staff at the museum, who were going to have to do a lot of work, like we're going to have to figure out how to get it here and how to install it, that this was worth it and that we could manage all of that work. And then I had to persuade the artist that this was where the piece belonged and that it was going to really thrive here and we were going to take really good care of it.
Yeah. Why was it important for you to have behind the walls in front of the museum? What does it mean to you in the community?
Well, I think that this work of art is a work of art that matters a lot in this particular moment, partly because of her name. It's called Behind the Walls. And I think what the artist was implying with that is that we have a lot of walls in the world right now, walls between countries, walls between people, walls between beliefs, and we're both behind walls of our making, and because of the gesture the artist makes, that the figure makes in the work. She covers her eyes, and I think with that gesture, she's saying a few things. She's saying both, this world is hard to see, like it's hard for me to look at right now, the world we're in, and I'm going to focus on my interior life. I'm going to focus on my own inner ideas and thoughts.
So when artists think about creating a monument, they need to consider the how. How will they do it? What materials they'll use, how they'll move it, what might go wrong. So could you tell us a little bit about Jaume Plensa's choices?
Those are really good questions. So it is made of polyester resin and marble dust. So despite the fact that you might look at it and think that it's made of, say, all of marble and it's solid, it isn't solid, it's hollow. So it's made in these kind of pieces, and you can see the lines around it, like you pointed out, and they're stacked on one another. And so when it was installed, they brought it in pieces, and it's not that heavy because, again, it's not solid. And a person stood in the middle and directed the crane that then lifted the pieces on top of it, like a wedding cake, like this. And I think in making it that way, the artist is trying to remind us that it's a modern work of art. It's not an ancient work of art, because ancient works of art are often made of stone or of marble, of things like marble or other kinds of stone or metal. It's not a few things at once in making it a polyester resin. And I think the whiteness is about light. He loves to have his work full of light and reflect light, and white does that really, really well.
So it's time for us to wrap up, and I'm leaving with so many more questions. And I'm curious about what other artists have chosen for their monuments. So thank you so much for talking to us about Behind the Walls.
You're welcome, anytime.